Thing is, being really okay with balance and the way of the bike and the way the bike feels on your legs, or one of your legs if you only have one down. You gotta be strong, man. Like in that scene in Karate Kid where, you know, the new one with Jackie Chan, where he's like, you gotta be strong, and he holds his arm up, he's like, you gotta be strong all the time. That's the way I want you to be with your legs all the time whenever you're on top of your motorcycle, because you will, I repeat, you will fall over accidentally, just not paying attention, just because you're loosey-goosey kind of leaning over doing something with your bike, or talking to someone, or doing anything else other than just being on your bike. Like, always just make it a thing whenever you're on the back of your bike. As soon as you start to hop on it, or you're near it, like you're about to be like in some sort of leg wrestling fight, or just any that sounds stupid. I meant to say like something that's similar to arm wrestling but involving the legs, and just leg wrestling came out. I mean, why wouldn't it? Because you don't want to be dumb like me and just fall over because you're not paying attention. So I've done it before, like twice. It's okay to fall whenever you're supposed to fall, like on a trail or something, or you do something dumb on the highway because you're going too fast around the curve. But you don't want to fall just because you're being a dumb whenever you hop on your bike in your yard at like 1 in the morning to go to the store, and you just fall right over for no reason. Never, ever give up on wheelies. Ooh, dodge it. But really though, I really got to work on my wheelies because they're bad. And I'm gonna follow the IRC tire guy videos, and I'm gonna try and do them with like one leg down initially, and establish that balance point and whatnot before proceeding onward. Who knows if it'll be successful? I just know that wheelies have been a passion of mine since my motorcycle youth, just a few years ago. Just a few short years, and I still suck at them. I really do. Let me try the compression thing. Oh, that works, bro. That works. That really does work. Wow. Let me try that again. I waited too long. I could never get the timing down again. Oh well. Go off-road! Off-road! You must venture
to fulfill your motorcycle desires to their ultimate splendor without any regret to be had ever as a mere mortal in a human lifespan.
Now, I can't actually go off-road right now because, you know, there's no such things as trails right now because they're all closed again. Because it just rained because of a lot of rain here. So no trails for me. But since I have a dual sport and not a straight-up dirt bike, I can go on vehicularized plated route all I want to. Nan boo boo. So I'm just wandering about here, meandering if you will, upon these trails, and they're enough for me. But yeah, go off-road. Don't go nuts. Be sure to wear proper gear. Right now I don't have on my boots, and I actually just learned that you really need those if you're wearing, I mean, if you're going on like technical single track stuff, because you can like easily hurt yourself, your lower extremities, as you would imagine. So yeah, I got some boots. I was gonna wear them today, but I found out the trails were closed and I decided to not wear them. But yeah, if you're gonna go off-road, just wear your proper gear. I got this roost guard, spine protector, I got elbow pads, I got some knee pads I'm gonna wear. I need to be having them on actually back then when I was trying to do wheelies, but you definitely want to have on the proper gear whenever you're going off-road. I'm just saying that. But definitely go off-road because it's fun. There's something about it that's very calming and beautiful and relaxing, and you see the most wonderful sceneries at times. Not particularly right now, but it happens, trust me. So go off-road. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, and definitely be careful. Like, seriously, be careful. I'm taking a very cautious pace whenever I'm doing anything off-road, because I'm usually by myself. And even if I'm not by myself, even if someone's with me, it's not gonna help me any if there's someone there to like console me while my leg is broken. I mean, they can call for help, but we're still gonna be out there stranded, you know? So don't be a dumb. Be careful. Gotta look at my notes here. My memory's like a goldfish sometimes. Learn to ride 1 foot down. I mean, I just came to a stop here. There's not really much of an incline, but sort of an incline. If I let off the brake, no, it's less level here, but let me roll down a little bit further. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Say you have to, for whatever reason, just have to or happen to, and don't even mean to. Alright, check this out. I'm gonna slip it in neutral here, still haven't put my foot down, neutral. Alright. Just taking my hands off the controls there. Bike's neutral, got 1 foot down. If I let off the rear brake, look, I'm rolling. Uh-oh, that's not good. Your vehicle's rolling forward. You know, what if you're like doing something? What if you, I don't know, what if your contact falls out and you're looking for it on the ground and your bike's rolling? What are you gonna do then, huh? Stupid example, just joking, but this foot is the one that's most important to learn to ride up with. You can do it with either one. Once you learn with one, doing it with the other is not even a thing, you know? It's not like, but see this here? That's the only thing that's going to give you control as far as like rolling, not rolling. This one over here, what are you going to do? Shift gears when you're at a complete standstill? No. So this is the useful one to use. So use this one. Right foot up, left foot down. It makes you look like you know what you're doing. You do know what you're doing. It actually opens things up with your balance and how you can feel the bike and your understanding of the pegs. But the braking mechanism is the most useful thing. because that's useful whenever you're like off-road in any situation, really. Doing wheelies, get used to that. So yeah, that's why you ride with one foot up and this one up. I'm going the wrong way. Dang it. Alright, now that I'm facing the right direction, since I have no sense of direction coming out of that trail back there. One of the other things you're going to want to know how to do as a motorcyclist, I'm not sure which one this is, which number this is, but it doesn't matter because you need to know how to wrench on your own bike. You really do. It teaches you so much. So rewarding. It makes you kind of less of a poser in a way. I mean, if you ride a motorcycle but you don't work on your own bike, I mean, it's not exactly like, I guess it is like a car. If you're a car guy, you wouldn't be a car guy showing up to a car meet and you don't even work on your own car. You'd be a poser. You want to be on a bike, but it's not even about that. It's not about some, you know, bullshit. Swinging contests or anything like that. It's about knowing how to wrench on your own things, because it's going to come up very frequently with motorcycles, particularly if you ride them off-road. And if you're watching this video, chances are you're going to want to ride off-road because you're probably interested in the Honda CR 300L, possibly, maybe like a slight chance, just guessing here, but chain tension. Of course, with this bike, if you're not hammering the hell out of it as far as throttle is concerned, you got to get like way up there in the revs for that to happen. Why would you on this bike? But chain tension's got to be adjusted every so often. You're going to need to know how to do that. When the chain wears out, you're going to have to know how to put on a new one. Sprockets wear out. Guess what? Those are right underneath the chain. That's what the chain uses to function. Brake pads wear out pretty regularly. Tires, especially on these knobby tires when you're using them on the highway more than you're using them off-road. You fall on blinkers. You have coolant leaks because you break something. You got to change the oil. Just the air filter gets dirty. Maybe you get in water. The more that you know on the side of the road or off-road as far as being able to wrench on your own stuff, the better off you're going to be, because you're going to need those skills on the side of the road or on the side of the trail. I shit you not, it's going to be a thing. You're going to need it. And if you don't have those skills, you're going to be calling somebody else to help you either fix it there or, you know, bring a truck or a trailer or something to pick up your bike because you can't get it off the side of the road yourself. When you could, if you knew how, just work with a little bit of tools that you have in your backpack, which should, again, anywho, learn to work on your own stuff. It helps you out in the long run in a multitude of ways. You don't got to take my word for it. Just keep progressing forward. You will see an inherent need for being able to wrench on your own bike, and then you will thank me if you learn how to do so before you need to. Rev matching! Rev matching is one of the most rewarding things that you could do on top of a motorcycle. The top two wheels, rev match. It's beautiful, it's great, feels good. sounds good. Helps with braking. You get to save on your brake pads. And it just, I don't know, it's nice. You'll like it, trust me. But you gotta know how to do it. And I guess one of the major benefits is maintaining your engine speed, because if you shift downward too quickly and you're not at the right speed, it like locks up your bike and your engine, and like it's not good. So you don't want to do that. It can damage your sprockets. It could even cause you to wreck if if it's bad enough, or just mess up the innards of your bike. You just don't want to do it anyway. It's not a good idea. I mean, why would you do that? So what you do is, for rev matching, really easy if you just take all the nonsense out of it. If you've learned anything beforehand, just try to forget it if it's conflicting, because it's not hard to rev match. You do a couple of things at the same time, a couple of 3 or 4 things at the same time. Okay, first thing you're gonna do at the same time is clutch. That's gonna be pulled in, okay? The second thing that's gonna be done at the same time is shifting will be occurring downward. Just pushing a lever. So bear with me, stay with me. So far we're at pulling the clutch lever in and pushing the shift lever down. 2 things we're doing so far. The third, and I believe the final thing that we'll be doing, is blipping the throttle, as shown here. You don't gotta rip it long or delayed. It's actually better if it's more of a quick thing, you know. I didn't mean to do that. I was in second gear. I usually you don't rev match from second to first. But check it out. Just a quick blip. See that? Okay, so 3 things so far. Really, really simple. Pulling the clutch in, pushing the lever down, flipping the throttle. That's the only things I'm doing. That's the only controls, or the only limbs that I'm using. So if I'm doing anything else other than judging the speed and listening to the RPMs of the engine or watching the gauge, but it's much more rewarding to just listen to the RPMs and let that soak in as to be your guide for when you're supposed to shift. Oh, it's so rewarding. So just do that. Now you just do all those things at the same time. Just one motion. Simple as that. I've seen other videos that kind of convolute the process. Just do those 3 things at the same time, and you're golden. Oh, well, aside from, I mean, those 3, motorized things, mechanical body things, whatever they're actually called. Contact your local physical therapist. But as far as the revs go, you can figure that out. You know when you need to shift, right? I mean, just listen to when you need to shift, and that's when you need to rev match. The same sound that lets you know you need to shift upward is the same sound at the opposite end of the spectrum that lets you know that you need to shift downward. So do all those things at one time, and you're golden. It's fun, it's beautiful, it's lovely. It's one of the most rewarding things if you do it properly. And don't learn how to do it from streamers. Okay, I had to stop and look at my cell phone because, as I may have mentioned before once or twice, goldfish. Next tip that I have, just the tip, is going to be buy a desirable motorcycle. What do I mean by that? I mean, of course, you're like, derp. Yeah, of course, derp, derp. I'm gonna buy a motorcycle that's desirable, that I want. Yeah, that's what you do, right? But buy a motorcycle that's desirable to you, your pocketbook, other people, and also their pocketbook. And you want it to be skewed in your favor, of course, as far as the pocketbook part's concerned. But buy a bike that people want and that you want. Like this bike here. This is a 2022 CRF300L. This is a sexy. I know it. All the guys are looking at her whenever I'm riding by. They're like, oh man, I want to sit on that and rev match all day and all this other stuff. But it's one of those bikes that's popular. It's all over YouTube and everywhere else, and it's a very desirable bike. It's a modern bike, good manufacturer, good price range, good usability, good service intervals. It's got a lot going for it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because there may be a time whenever you buy this motorcycle or another motorcycle that tickles your fancy, similarly, ooh, I messed that word up badly, similarly, then you may get to a point, at some point, where you're like, I don't like this bike anymore, or I need something else, or I have a child, or I go to jail, or not me go to jail, but you go to jail, but something else like that. And you might think to yourself, hey, I don't want this bike anymore. I need to sell it. Well, guess what? If it's not a popular bike, if it's not desirable, it may take a little bit longer to sell, and you're going to be sitting there with no money, bros, and you don't want to be there with no monies. Aside from that, try not to finance your bikes. I know, not all of us have, myself included, thousands of dollars just to go throw around on a motorcycle whenever we want one. So you may have to resort to financing and taking interest rate and long-term commitment and whatnot. But you can always come out with money to get out from under that, save up, work 2 jobs for a little while, something of the sort. But just try not to finance if you can, because you never know when you're going to want to sell that bike, because you never know when your circumstances or your taste in bikes or your use in bikes or practicality in bikes is going to change. You might age like 1 or 2 years, or have a slight injury that results in your knee hurting, some shit like that, and you can't even use the same bike. Or your back starts to hurt, or anything. You never know what's going to change at any particular moment. So buy a bike that's desirable, that's easy for you to sell and get rid of if you need to. And try not to be too involved with paying for it if you can help it. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do and finance it out. Whatever. Whoa, that dog scared the out of me. I thought that was an animal that was about to attack me, like a tiger that escaped from the zoo or something. He was just gonna I'm just gonna pull over here. I don't know these people or pick up their trash or anything like that, but there's a little bit of a road to pull off onto. Maybe they won't shoot me, and maybe I won't get ran over. See that? See how useful that is? Oh, and learn how to put your bike in neutral really quickly too. It's super useful. It's easy to do too. A light touch in either direction, light touch. I guess the final topic, the final tip will be learn how to function without ABS. I'm not saying be some sort of cohort to any, lineage of cult-like allegiance to ABS versus non-ABS, or the usefulness therein for off-road and on-road applications. I'm saying just don't be married to the idea of being on a bike that has ABS, because for one, you may be seeking a bike such as this, and the only one that you might be able to buy for a while, and I'm talking about future circumstances, these are probably pretty acquirable by now, but there was a time where they weren't so acquirable. So what you want to do is be a little bit, I don't know, fluid, if you will, or a little flexible. That way, if you get to a dealer and they're like, hey, we got this bike here, but all we got is the ABS version, or all we got is the non-ABS version. You could be a particular sort of fellow or gal or person that wants one of the other bikes, you know, ABS versus non-ABS, for whatever your reasons may be. But the only thing that's available, or the only thing that's available secondhand in the used market, basically you might not have, you know, the option of ABS or not ABS afforded to you at all times, and you may need to be able to function without it. And it's just a safety thing, man. If you want to have ABS, that's fine. If you want to always use that, fine. I'm not knocking you for wanting to do so. Use your ABS, it's a beautiful thing, but you need to know how to function without it. You really do. Because in a pinch, even ABS doesn't save you right away if there's a wet road and there's traction issues with a sudden stop. Like, say even if you're going slow, like I'm routinely on a road where I go about 40 miles per hour to 45. It's just leaving the city limits on its way to the highway, and one of the things that you gotta do is watch out for vehicles slightly in front of you whenever it's raining, because they'll turn off and not use their blinker with enough fair warning, and then you're just sitting there like, I gotta stop very quickly, but it's raining and there's really a lot of traction issues and it's not happening, even if you have ABS. And I've been on bikes that have ABS and not ABS on the same road, and the same situation occurs. Oh, which way do I need to go? Probably this way. Anyhow, I think I'm going the right way. There's a cop in front of me, and hopefully they didn't decide to pull me over for no reason, but ABS isn't going to save you all the time, and you need to know how to function without it. So go ahead and learn how to utilize your rear brake with emergency stopping. And the thing is to not apply it too much. It's super easy to apply too much rear brake and cause your rear tire to lock up. Super easy to do, and it's even easier to do whenever it's wet. So just get used to not overdoing it, and you'll be fine, and you won't even need ABS. And if you have ABS and you want to utilize it, and you do utilize it, it'll be of more benefit to you, because you'll be using your rear brake properly, and the ABS will be there as more of a safeguard rather than a crutch and something that you misuse and just cause a click, because you don't want to make it click. I mean, I guess that's when it's saving you, but never mind. Just learn how to not use ABS. So that's it. I'm behind this cop. That doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm not doing anything wrong. I know not to speed through here. I'm not a dummy. He wants me to, though. He wants me to. But that's my 7 tips for new motorcycle riders. Things you can do to make you a better rider than your noobish counterparts, or even your more experienced counterparts. Au revoir. Bye. Okay, guess I'll say bye now. Bye.